Football is back. It feels like a new season, doesn't it? It's been so long. Arsenal 2, Fulham 1, and another hamstring injury for us. And maybe even another injury on top of that. Story of our season. Just, you get a few players back and you lose another. And Gabriel pulls up in the 15 minutes, which looks like a bad one. And, you know, the way our season's going, especially with hamstring injuries, you'll probably be announcing the surgery at some point tomorrow morning. So, but either way, I think even the most mildest of injuries, it looks like he's definitely going to be out of the Real Madrid tie, and that really leaves us with a problem. He kind of leads our defence, and he's been relatively injury-free for a few years now. So, but again, so have a lot of players, and you know, story of our season. Overall, a decent win, not a fantastic performance. Started off pretty sluggish, weren't creating much, though Fulham weren't. I think the score's still flat, Fulham, to be honest. I mean, we had a second half performance early on where we should have scored 2 or 3, I think. We get the goal through Moreno, who, again, people are moaning about being centre-forward, but it's not his fault that we're allergic to signing centre-forwards. And he's now our second top goal scorer, I think. He's only played a handful of games at centre-forward. So it's certainly not his fault, and he's doing his best from that position. And I think he has some good attributes there. One attribute that he has is he's able to get shots away over, you know, with little coming his way, and he's able to get finishes that maybe even you'd question whether Havertz could get. You certainly question whether some of our wingers would be able to finish some of these. Obviously, he's a little bit lucky with the deflection, but it's his movement that he takes up. And I think Ranieri and Timber do really well. For the goal, I thought Timber was fantastic, but again, another one that went down with a issue in his left knee, and we don't really know what went on there. Hopefully, it's just precautionary because Ben White was out today, absent. We don't really know why. Hopefully, he's back Saturday because we're going to need him. I think we saw in this game when Kivior come on, he's fine, but I think he was susceptible as well. You know, Adama Traore had a chance in the second half. They had a huge miss in the second half. I think it was through Jimenez ahead. I don't know how he missed it. I don't know what Kivior's doing for it. Watch it again. He looks like he wants to play second goalkeeper. Play 2 goalkeepers. I don't know why he doesn't stay on Jimenez. He just retreats. And you can't. I don't think you can play Kivior against Real Madrid. I just don't think he's at that level to play there. So we need Ben White back because otherwise Kivior is going to play, especially with Calafiori being out injured. You know, again, injuries just racking up. Like we said, story of our season. But the goal's really good. Lovely ball from Timber. Lovely cutback from Ranieri with his right foot. And Moreno just takes a shot on, and sometimes you just got to do that. He gets a little bit of luck with the deflection. But it's a good first touch, and he deserves his goal, I think, really. I thought his link-up play was good. He was involved in the second goal too. Saka comes on. He's back. He's back, and he's back with a bang. I thought Martinelli did quite well. A little bit frustrating at times. But in terms of his take-ons and his ability to keep going at Castagna and things like that. And he kind of gets his just reward. He runs through. He looks like his head's down a little bit. He managed to get the ball to Moreno, get it back. It's a cross-in, I think, a sliding cross-in from Moreno. And it's a lovely little flick from Martinelli. I'm not sure if he sees Saka there. And Saka just follows it up with a nice header. He got a few little nice touches. He wasn't really massively involved, Saka, but he gets his goal. And just brilliant to have him back. And I thought him and Ranieri, you know, they've got that right side really, you know, looking quite good now, hopefully, for the rest of the season. So, 2-0, it looks really, really comfortable. Too comfortable, it seems. And then we give away a silly goal, which is another deflection, really. A little bit lucky, but it's poor defending from... I don't think Luis Skelly covers himself in glory. And again, I think Kivior is susceptible, but I've got to re-watch it back. You know, and then it's a nervy last couple of minutes. They had a corner, I think, and we managed to see it out. But obviously... good win, decent win, keeps that gap between 4th and 5th. Forest winning again, they look like they're keeping that gap between 4th and 5th, in fairness to them, having a fantastic season. Would be hilarious if they get Champions League and knock one of the serial dopers out of it. So that would be quite cool. Yeah, but it was a good win. Obviously, it's just going to be marred by the injury to Gabriel and possibly the injury to Timber. We need to hear some good news of Ben White being back. Hopefully, Ben White's back and back enough to be able to play on Saturday because we're going to need to. I'd consider even playing right back or centre back, but I think I wouldn't play Kivior against Real Madrid. I think you'd have to go Ben White and Saliba, and you know, but it's a big call. It's a big call to make. But I don't think Saliba's now got to kind of lead the defence, and Gabriel was the one that really did that. I thought he did okay at it with Kivior. But it would be nice to have Ben White there. I think he's more comfortable on the ball. I think he's stronger in the challenge. I think he's faster, more agile than Kivior. One-on-ones, Kivior just gets exposed, gets pushed off the ball too easily for me. Yeah, I thought Timber was very good. Rice was very good. I thought Partey had a decent game, to be honest. No one was fantastic. Martinelli, stood out as well. But good win. Fulham are a decent-ish side, and barely saw anything from Smith Rowe really, or Roby when he came on. And 3 points, and on to Saturday up the Arsenal. Hopefully do a podcast Saturday at Purely Arsenal FP. Comment, like, subscribe. Sorry, been away for a bit.